Let me see if it's working.
I want to start.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming up. Oh, yeah, there it's live, yeah.
Okay. So we got a little bit of a late start. I apologize. Technical issues to work out, but we're live and we are going. I wanted in the next, hopefully, 10 minutes or so to do make two quick ha'aras in the first Mishnah of Pirked Avos. Both I find fascinating. The Mishnah starts off, Moshe kibal Torah miSinai, u'misaro Yoshua, and the Mefarshim point out, what does it mean he was makabel Torah miSinai? How much Torah was he makabel? So the Rabbeinu Yonah points out Ben Torah shebechsav, Ben Torah shebal peh, which is a fascinating opinion, but not just that, but it's like Shatorah b'ferushah nitna u'belokein yevshar lamud ba. And he points out all sorts of examples. For example, one of them, Lo Tigzal includes all of Nezikin. And you wouldn't have known that if it wouldn't have been spelt out at Har Sinai. What is Bein Dam Ladam, Bein Din Ladin, Bein Neg Lanega? It sounds like there's a tremendous amount of Torah Shebechsav and tremendous amount of Torah Shebal Peh that is explained. All the mitzvahs of Torah Shebechsav and all the mitzvahs of Torah Shebal Peh presumably were given. And that's probably what Rashi has in Parshas Bahar, Diktukau, Pratos given at Har Sinai. However, the Rabbeinu Bartanura adds in something else, which I'm not sure the Rabbeinu Yonah would agree to. He says that not only is the Torah Shebechsav and Torah Shebal Peh that's given over, that is given Har Sinai, but even midos, even behavioral midos type of things, musar and hashkaf, etc. Matter of fact, the Rabbeinu Bartanura, the Avad Bartanura, even explains that's the reason why we start off with this line. The whole Sefer is a book of ethics and Musar and Hashkafa. We have to point out that these are not just things that the Tanaim, said on their own. And that's his line. Lafika chitzchel atad b'mesachet zu. Moshe kibal Torah miSinai lo omer lecha shamidos v'hamusarim shebazu hamesachta lo badu osam chachmei haMishnah belibam. The Tanoim did not make up these ideas. They're not just hashkafa. These were given over to Moshe at Har Sinai. Fascinating that midos are actually given over at Har Sinai, presumably not just an accompaniment in addition to Torah, but gufa, part of Torah itself. This is correct. Perhaps one can even add on. There's a fascinating Rabbeinu Yonah in Perek Gimel, Mishnah Yud Zayin, at least according to the breakdown I have, which discusses, says the Mishnah, Emein Torah, Emein Derech Eretz, Emein Derech Eretz, Ein Torah, which sounds like they're mutually exclusive, and he adds in a little more and has a really revealing line. He says, Kolomar, Misheni Yodei Torah, Eino Shalom Midos Shal Derech Eretz. If you don't know Torah, you cannot be a proper full Derech Eretz, and here's an interesting reason why. Ki Rov Hamidos HaTorah Shebedar Ke'olam B'Torah. Because you can't. Because rove of the midos hatovos, most good midos are found in the Torah, which almost sounds like, are all of them? I don't know. It sounds like maybe not. It could be the Torah was not a list of all the good midos. Some of them developed or something, etc., etc. Fascinating question as to what is the relationship between midos and Torah. Are midos a chelik of Torah? Were they given at Har Sinai? Interesting question. I think Rav Lichtenstein points out. Perhaps not even such a nafkamina. Either way, the Ratzon Hashem, you got to do it. Worthwhile thing to discuss, larger, broader conversation. That's a little ha'ara number one. Ha'ara number two is that the Anshe Knesset Agdola, where they were given everything, they came up with three things that they used to say. The Mishnah says, number one is Havim Misudim Badin. Number two is Ha'midu Talmidim Harbe, which I want to dwell upon. And the third is Asusiya Torah. Ha'midu Talmidim Harbe sounds like you should have many, many, many Talmidim. And at first glance, this is subject to machlokes, as both the Bartanura and the Rabbeinu Yonah points out. The Bartanura, Ravaji Bartanura points out that Rabbi Hillel, this is not the sheet of Rabban Gamliel. There's a well-known Gemara, Mesachas Brachos and Daf Chav Ches, that says that Kol Talmud Sheinu Tocho Keboro Al Yikanes LeBeis HaMedrash. Don't be machnis him to the Beis Medrash. Don't bring him in. Kamash Malad Shemalamdin L'chol Adam Ve'ein Tzarich Lebodek Levdok Acharav. However, our Mishnah disagrees with Rabban Gamliel. Rabban Gamliel and Rabbi Yeshua, the famous story, where the day they dethroned, removed, replaced Rabban Gamliel from being the head of the Beis Medrash, they had to bring in all these new benches and fill the Beis Medrash again because he had taught and educated only the select few, the elite. And afterwards, they kind of opened up the door. People talk about how in Lakewood it was the same type of thing. Rav Aaron Kotler used to only have the top Talmidim, and his son Rav Shneur Kotler opened up the doors and, opened up the floodgates, and the yeshiva grew tremendously in terms of numbers. Rabbi Yonah makes a similar point. He points out, Talmidim Harbeh. He says, Kedas Hillel. This is Hillel's opinion. Kinyan Shaninu, it's actually a machlokes in Avos Rabbi Nassim, which we'll take a look at momentarily. First, let's finish the Rabbi Yonah. You're only supposed to educate Talmidim Hagun, the people who are Sanua v'Yirei Shemayim v'Kasher. Someone who's a Talmid Hagun, a Yirei Shemayim, Kosher, etc., etc. The goal of a Rebbe is to look for the right people and train them. Put all of your efforts and energy into raising the next generation of leaders. That's the Beis Shammai approach. Similar to Rabban Gamliel. However, Beis Hillel Omer Malamdim L'chol Adam. According to Hillel, you educate everyone. Now the question is, why does Hillel disagree? Where does he argue upon Shammai? And there's two ways of going about it. Number one is he says what Rabbi Yonah says. If let's say you have Meya Shiyatzu Asara Tovim, you have 100 Talmidim, hopefully 10 will come out that are really good. Asara B'Shvil She'imatzu Shnayim. If you have 10 Talmidim, hopefully 2 will end up right. Shnayim L'fi She'einechem Yodim Ezi Yikasher Hazeh Hazeh. And if you have 2 Talmidim, so maybe one of them will come out, which fundamentally is the same as Shammai. Really, the goal is to produce leadership in Gedolei Torah, and it just happens to be you don't know which ones. There can be some underdogs who surprise you. That's one potential reason why Beis Hillel would disagree with Beis Shammai, or Hillel disagrees with Beis Shammai. But if you look in the Avos Rabbi Nassim itself, in Beis test, it actually get a different impression. Alternatively, than what the Rabbi Yonah had suggested. He writes, Amid Talmidim Harbeh, Shebei Shammai Omrim Al Yishna Adam Elimishu Chacham V'Anav Uben Avos V'Ashir. And those are qualities that the Avos Rabbi Nassim mentions. Different ones in the Rabbi Yonah mentions within Beis Shammai. Worthwhile to think about enough right now. Ubeis Hillel Omrim L'chol Adam Yeshna Sheharbei Poshim Hayu BeYisrael V'Nizkarvu L'Talmud Torah V'Yatzim Tzadikim Chasidim Kshir. Says Hillel, at least according to the Avos Rabbi Nassim, not the Rabbi Yonah interpreted, the reason why you educate everyone, the reason why you have many Talmidim, is not just it's more likely that someone great will come out of them, but every single person has potential, even from Poshim, who are themselves are never going to turn into anything great. So the children might. The goal is we find potential in every Jew, and even if you don't, so at least find potential in his descendants. In contrast to Beis Shammai, who says we educate only the top few, Beis Hillel says no, either educate them all because you may get the right few by educating even the wrong ones. Strategically, he disagrees, although fundamentally agrees, or alternatively, like the Avos Rabbi Nassim, fundamentally disagrees. There's not a person in the world who can't reach his potential. There isn't a person out there who can't achieve great heights. The Rambam along these lines is a simple pshat. Avos Rabbi Nassim writes in Hilchos Talmud Torah that when it comes to the Kesher Torah, which is the greatest of the three Ksarim, greater than Kesher Kahuna and greater than Kesher Malchus, Kol Mi Sheyirtze Yavo V'Yitel. Anyone who wants to wear the Kesher Torah can come wear it. And one may wonder, is that really true? Can anyone wear the Kesher Torah? Should we really believe that people who are unintelligent, who have no level of sophisticated thought, are going to rise to the Kesher Torah? And the answer is one of two. Yes, for one of two reasons. Either the goal is not to beat other people. The goal is just to be the best you could be. And that's the person who wears the Kesher Torah. If your roof is a 4 opposed to a 400 and you achieve that roof, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is proud of you, you should be proud of yourself. The goal is not to look over your shoulders and beat others. The goal is to become the best you could be. And maybe that's why Hillel believes you should be educating all Talmidim. We should all become the best us as we could be. And that's what the first Mishnah on Pirked Avos says. Alternatively, the Rambam may believe that the mind is actually a muscle. The harder you work, the more you use your muscle, the stronger it gets. And therefore, people can become smarter. People can raise their level of potential. People can change to the point where their roof is raised. And maybe the reason why the first Mishnah in Pirked Avos says, Havelu Talmidim Harbeh, and Beis Hillel says you should be educating every single Talmud, not just like Shammai and Rabban Gamliel, is because you don't know the roof of a person until you give him a chance. We'll stop here.